Imagine if I told you most men today are quietly failing, not for lack of skill, but for want of mental steel. We scroll through life, comparing, envying, wondering why we feel stuck, frail, or lost. We chase ease, but end up drained. We dodge pain, yet suffer daily in silence. The hard truth comfort is slowly eroding us. Struggle, though brutal, holds the seeds of true strength. Long before smartphones or self-help gurus, the Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic sage, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Grasp this, and you'll unlock strength." This isn't just a quote, it's a weapon, a mindset, a way to stand firm in chaos. Stoicism doesn't make life softer, it makes you unbreakable. In this video, we'll dive deep into 8 Stoic principles to forge your mind, heart, and soul. No fluff, just raw truth. These aren't empty pep talks. Each principle is carved from the rugged wisdom of Stoics, tested in ancient Roman wars, and still potent today. Before we dive in, I ask one thing: if you're serious about growth, don't just watch this like another motivational clip. This isn't background noise. It's your wake-up call. Hit that like button now. Drop a comment when a truth hits hard. Share this with a man who needs to hear it. Most importantly, don't skip a single part. Missing one principle could cost you clarity or courage when you need it most. Let's begin. First, embrace discomfort like an old friend. Picture this: your greatest growth moments. Were they when life was easy, lounging in comfort, or when life hit you square in the jaw, forcing you to choose, rise or crumble? Marcus Aurelius faced war, betrayal, and plague, yet led with calm. He didn't flee discomfort, he welcomed it as his forge. The obstacle to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus wrote, "This isn't poetry, it's a law. Every hurdle sharpens your will. Every delay tests your patience. Every rejection builds your grit." Modern life whispers, "Avoid pain." Stoicism roars, "Face it." Cold rain, a tough talk, a grueling workout. When you're spent, these are where your character is shaped. The Stoics believed choosing controlled discomfort prepares you for life's chaos. When the storm hits, you're ready. Seneca slept on floors, ate simply, wore rags, not from self-hate, but to train. Why? So when life strips away comfort, you don't flinch. You're prepared. Discomfort isn't your enemy, it's your mirror, showing who you are and who you're becoming. Dodge small pains today, and you'll face bigger ones tomorrow. But face that fire with clear eyes, and something shifts. You stop fearing pain. That's where freedom begins. From today, see discomfort as training. It may bruise you, but it's building you. Pick a small challenge: cold shower, tough talk, enduring boredom, and do it. No excuses. This is where warriors are forged on the anvil of discomfort. Tell yourself, this is my training ground. Second, don't let emotions rule you. How often have your feelings hijacked your day? Someone's sharp words spark rage. A plan falls apart, and your mood crumbles. You feel lazy and skip the gym. Work. Discipline. We've all been there, brother. But here's the brutal truth: if emotions steer you, you're their slave. The Stoics saw this as worse than chains on your wrists. Epictetus, once a slave himself, rose to teach. Anyone who angers you becomes your master. They only disturb you if you let them. Think on that. The guy who cuts you off in traffic, you hand him your peace. That breakup, you give it your identity. A rude comment online, you surrender your joy. Stoicism doesn't say, ignore your emotions. It says observe them, understand them, and choose your response. Not react on impulse. A child rages blindly. A Stoic sits calm in the storm and reflects. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, wrote in his private journal, Meditations, if something pains you, it's not the thing itself, but your judgment of it. You can choose to dismiss that pain any time. That's a power rarely spoken of, the power to stay unmoved by what doesn't deserve your energy. It's harsh because it strips away excuses. You can't say, he made me mad, or she ruined my day. You chose that reaction. But the strength lies in this. You can choose again. You're not a slave to your emotions. You can be angry, yet not act on it. You can fear, yet still step forward. You can grieve without drowning in it. That's emotional strength. That's the Stoic's freedom. Next time you're triggered, pause, breathe, ask, is this feeling useful right now? Respond with intent, not instinct. This isn't about being numb, it's about mastery. When you stop being swayed by emotions, you become clear, calm, unshakable. People notice that strength. You show up steady. And in a world of emotional chaos, that's rare. That's magnetic. True growth starts when you stop being a puppet to feelings and become their master. Third, stop expecting fairness. Life owes you nothing. The fastest way to suffer is to demand justice from the world. You work hard, but the lazy guy gets the promotion. You love deeply, but they walk away. You do right and still get punished. Anger, flaws. It's not fair. You say, but the Stoic truth cuts deeper. Fairness is a story we tell ourselves, not a law of the universe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you too are unjust if you do nothing. Evenher, an emperor, saw injustice daily. Instead of whining or blaming, he leaned into a timeless truth. Life isn't about fairness, it's about strength. Stoics don't expect kindness from the world. They brace for pain, loss, betrayal, and change. Fairness is a beautiful idea, but clinging to it weakens you. When you cry, it's not fair, you're really saying, I don't like this pain and won't face it. But here's the law. You don't grow by demanding fairness. You grow by staring down reality and marching forward. Good men face tragedy. Villains sometimes win. Effort isn't always rewarded. That's not cynicism, it's life. The ordinary man waits for justice. The Stoic builds an inner fortress so strong that no external blow can shatter him. This doesn't mean you grow cold or detached. It means you stop begging the world to be kind and start treating yourself with strength. No matter what comes, Seneca said, sometimes just to live is an act of courage, especially when life feels unjust. Instead of complaining, turn pain into fuel. Hone your skills until none can deny you. Love deeply without expecting return. Face betrayal and walk on with dignity. The Stoic way is absolute responsibility, not because every fault is yours, but because you're always the one who acts. You can't control life's punches, but you command your response. That warrior-like calm, that relentless poise, makes you unbreakable. Fairness isn't promised, but freedom is earned through every steadfast choice. Fourth, focus on what you control and let the rest go. Epictetus put it plain: make the best of what's in your power and take the rest as it comes. Most men fall into the trap of trying to control others' opinions, predict the future, or obsess over outcomes. Then wonder why they're anxious or angry. Let's break it down. What's truly in your grasp? Your thoughts, choices, actions, reactions. The rest, people's judgments, opportunities. Uncertainties aren't yours to command. You can't control the rain, but you choose your coat. You can't force their respect, but you decide how you treat them. You can't steer the economy, but you control your learning, spending, preparation. This shift in focus is massive. It hands your power back to you. Picture a storm at sea. The Stoic doesn't curse the wind. He grips the helm and charts the course. That's how you stay calm when others panic. You stay disciplined when others unravel. It's not about ignoring the world's weight. It's choosing what deserves your care. Most of what men stress over lies beyond their control. When tension rises, ask, is this mine to command? If yes, act. If no, release it. Simple, but not easy. Yet it's powerful. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you'll find strength. Live this, and men notice. You become unshakable not because you control everything, but because you master yourself, no matter what happens. Fifth, embrace voluntary hardship to forge an iron will. In a world addicted to ease, discipline is your superpower. Stoics didn't wait for life to test them, they tested themselves. Seneca wrote, "Set aside days to be content with the simplest things, rough clothes, and ask, is this what I feared?" This is voluntary hardship, a choice to steel your mind against collapse. Most men dodge discomfort at all costs. They never skip a meal, sit in silence, or sacrifice luxury. But when life turns brutal, they crack, panic, blame. Stoics trained for those hard days. They faced hunger, fatigue, rejection, boredom. Struggle not to suffer, but to grow flexible, resilient. You don't forge a strong will watching feel-good videos. You build it by choosing what you'd rather avoid. Fast for a day to master your cravings. Take a cold shower when your mind screams, no. Say no to a luxury you could afford. Sharpening restraint. Rise early to train when your body begs for bed. These small choices stack up, and over time, they make you formidable, not cruel, but prepared. Comfort doesn't make you stronger, challenge does. When hardship comes, and it will, you won't flee. You'll smile, knowing you've walked through fire by choice. Marcus Aurelius ruled through plague, war, betrayal, yet wrote with calm. Why? He was ready. Hardship wasn't a shock, it was his training ground. Stop asking, how do I make life easier? Ask, how do I grow stronger? Train in hunger, solitude, cold, fatigue, rejection. Stay focused through it all, because one day life will throw more than you think you can bear. Sixth, let go of outcomes and love the process. We're taught to obsess over results, landing the job, closing the deal, hitting the goal, earning praise. But Stoicism flips this: master your effort, not the result. Why? Outcomes are never guaranteed, but your actions are yours to command. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It comes when you let go of what's beyond your control. Clinging to outcomes sets you up for pain. A week in the gym with no abs, so you quit. A project fails, and you feel worthless. A love leaves, and you break. But what if you poured your soul into the work itself, showing up, writing, building, learning, striving?" That's the Stoic path. When you focus on the process, you win every time, even if the outcome disappoints. And here's the twist: letting go of needing results often brings more of them. You're not disparity, not swayed by others' judgments. You stand firm in your actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't let the future disturb you. If it comes, face it with the same reason you wield today. Don't fixate on what might be. Do the work now with courage. If you're a writer, write to sharpen your mind, not for fame. If you're an athlete, train to master your body, not just to win. If you're building something, build for the pride of effort, not applause. Tie your worth to outcomes. And you're fragile. Tie it to discipline. And you're unstoppable. When you anchor your worth to discipline, will, and focus, you become a force. Shift to this Stoic mindset. Show up as if the outcome is already won, and savor the work itself. Win or lose. 7th, face death to live with urgency and purpose. Most men act like they'll live forever, squandering time, delaying dreams, trapped in bad habits or toxic ties. Stoics reflected on death, not to brood, but to awaken. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that shape what you do. Say, think. This isn't fear, it's freedom. Knowing life is short, that you don't choose its end, makes every moment matter. You can't wait for someday. You can't keep saying, 'I'll do it later.' Tomorrow isn't promised." The Stoics practiced memento mori. Remember you will die, not to despair, but to stay sharp, present, intentional. It's a call to stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. When you truly grasp your time is finite, you stop scrolling mindlessly for hours. You quitte petty argument. You refuse to settle for mediocrity. You start creating, loving, acting now, not later. Seneca said, "It's not that we have too little time, but that we waste too much." You can't control how long you live, but you can control how deeply you live. The lie we tell ourselves is, "There's plenty of time." There isn't. That risk you've dodged, the work you've delayed, the forgiveness you've withheld, the change you swore you'd make next year, now is your moment. Stoics don't shy from death. They stare it down and say, "You won't catch me sleepwalking through my life." This awareness doesn't breed anxiety. It ignites you. To live knowing death looms means you speak truth, love fiercely, work with purpose, shed ego, and fear no failure. Because the real failure is a wasted life. Live like your time is borrowed, because it is. Do this, and you become magnetic, focused, powerful. You don't chase cheap validation. You act with purpose, and others feel it. You feel it. 8th, Be a warrior for virtue, not approval. Most men live to be liked, praised, noticed, but a Stoic acts for virtue, not the crowd. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do what's right, and the rest doesn't matter. Live with honor, even unseen. Speak truth, though no one claps. Keep your word, even at a cost. Train hard, even without an audience." That's virtue. It builds a soul no one can buy. It's not about perfection, but principle. The hardest part, doing right, is often the toughest road. Lying is easier than truth. Impressing beats authenticity. Seeking approval is simpler than standing alone. But every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you sharpen your character. You become a man your future self can respect. You forge an identity no one can steal. Seneca wrote, "I'll live and think as if the whole world sees one part and reads the rest." That's power, a life unswayed by pressure, built on integrity. In a world of facades, the Stoic is real. In a sea of noise, is quiet strength. In a culture of show, he's authentic. To be unbreakable. Don't live for applause, live for your values. Lose status, wealth, followers, and still walk tall. Because when you don't need the crowd, they follow you. Be a warrior for what's right, not what's popular. Walk alone if you must, but walk like it's the only path that matters. If you've made it this far, something in you is ready to rise. Shed distraction, weakness, emotional chaos, and step into something greater, not perfection, but power. This path doesn't offer comfort. It offers clarity, direction, a life of meaning, even when the world crumbles. Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus, they didn't write for easy times. They wrote to survive storms, battles, betrayal, and death with dignity. Their lesson, true strength, isn't in muscles or money, but in the man who keeps his word, the man who faces fear head-on, the soul who does right when it's hardest. You don't need motivation or the perfect moment. You just need to start now. Forge your mind. Prepare for hardship. Let go of outcomes. Hold fast to principle. Live like your time is running out, because it is. You don't need cheers, praise, or understanding. On the Stoic path, you become unbreakable from within. And that's a rare power. That's the truth. And it's yours to claim. Drop this in the comments. Asterisk. I'm becoming unbreakable every day. Asterisk. If this sparks something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video, share which principle hit hardest, and pass it to a brother walking his own path. Share it with a man who's striving, and subscribe to join a tribe of thinkers, warriors, and honest men chasing more than noise, chasing purpose. Don't skip a moment of this life. Every second is training. Every choice is transformation. Keep showing up. Keep choosing strength. And don't stop until you're unbreakable.